Today in this video we are going to understand about techniques of reducing prejudice. So we know that prejudice is a negative attitude, okay, and it gives rise to some aggressive activities as well as response. We know that because of prejudice, communal riots, strikes, destruction could happen, poisonous feelings could develop, and also it may be harmful for individual, for society and for the world as a whole. So for the harmony and peace in the society, we need to reduce the prejudice, okay. So there are several techniques through which we can reduce the prejudice. So the first one is socialization. So what happens is, we know that prejudice is a learned behavior and that is learned through socialization, and socialization can happen with family, religion, society, community group, etc. And this prejudice is developed because of the inadequate information and knowledge, okay. So it is important that through proper understanding, correct information, knowledge and with justification we can reduce the prejudice. So we need to make our socialization such that there is proper understanding, we have correct information and knowledge, and that too with justification, so that prejudice can be reduced, okay. So here example is given that in our ancient India, intercaste marriages were not allowed because of caste discrimination, but due to socialization it was possible to change their thinking, and hence people started accepting the intercaste marriages, which is positive step towards reducing prejudice and also caste discrimination. So what this example states is, before that is in ancient India, intercaste marriages were not allowed, and that was because of the caste discrimination. But due to socialization, but due to the mingling of the different group, it was possible that the thinking of the people changed and they started accepting the intercaste marriages, and because of that even caste discrimination has reduced to an extent. So it is a positive step towards the reducing prejudice, okay. Then the next one is intergroup contacts. So we know that to reduce prejudice, if we provide opportunities to various groups to come into contact with each other, then it may reduce prejudice. For example, there are two different groups and they have prejudice against others, okay. So if you make two groups together, then because of that intergroup contact the prejudice would reduce, okay. But merely just increasing the contact will not lessen the intergroup conflicts. But what one should remember is, the group's social and economic status should be similar. Increasing their contacts is worthwhile. So if their social and economic status is similar and increasing their contact is worthwhile, that is the group that have intergroup contacts should have social and economic status similar to each other, okay. And while increasing those contacts, then the prejudice will reduce, okay. So and also along with that, atmosphere should be created which have trust, faith, security, love, tolerance among others, okay. And the negative feelings like hatred, resentment, insecurity, etc. should be reduced while having intergroup contacts, and thus the prejudice would get reduced, okay. Then we have reorganizing learning in family and school. So we know that a child learns first in the family and second in the school. So if we provide the child with purposeful education, then the prejudice can be reduced, okay. And if in school also, that is the purposeful education first at family, that is first at home, should be provided, and then in school if group learning and activities are organized, like social services are conducted, then prejudice can be reduced, okay. And then even in family also, parents should remember that they should not force their views, opinions and prejudice on children, but instead they should teach them to be independent in their learning. So the parents should also remember that they should not force their opinion, they should not force their prejudices on the children, but they should teach them to be independent in their learning. So as per Stumbera studies that the illiterate people stick to traditional values, and so it is important to educate them. So what does Stumbera studies state? That people who are illiterate, they generally stick to their traditional values, and if you want to change them, if you want to reduce the prejudices, you need to educate them. Okay, so this is how reorganizing learning in family and school can also reduce prejudices. Okay, then the next one is mass media. So we know that in this world of science and technology, mass media plays an important role. We have each and every information at one click, and so mass media can help spread message to a large number of people, that too speedily as well as accurately. Okay, so if this mass media is used accordingly and properly, then prejudice can be reduced. For example, the mass media was used in spreading messages such as save girl child and educate them, and it has been effective in changing the thinking towards girls education and women. Okay, and also how mass media should spread the messages, it should be free, fair and balanced one. So the media should reduce the social tension, and they should maintain harmony by spreading the free, fair and balanced messages. Okay, so in this way mass media can also help in reducing prejudice. Okay, then we have recategorization. Now what is recategorization? So when person form different groups, see themselves as a member of a single social identity, then reduces their prejudices, reduces, the former outgroup members change. So what happens is, for an example, you consider yourself in a group A. Okay, you believe that you belong to a group named A, and there are other persons in group named B. So you have prejudice against group B, and group B has prejudice against group A. Now what happens is, why this prejudice happens is because the individual categorize themselves as in the group A and in the group B. But what happens is, if that boundary of the group is weak, and if breaks, then the group A and group B does not exist, and then both the member of the group become one. So this recategorization also helps in reducing prejudice. Okay, so what happens, this means only that when persons form from different groups see themselves as a member of a single social identity. So person belonging to different group, they see themselves, they perceive themselves as a single social identity, then prejudice against the former outgroup members changes. So the prejudice they had before for the outgroup member would reduce. Okay, so once the boundaries become weak and ineffective, groups are socially categorized differently, and that helps in reducing or eliminating prejudice. Okay, so this is how recategorization helps in reducing prejudice. Then we have cognitive interventions. So what is cognitive interventions? We know that it would be related to some cognitive behavioral or feelings. Okay, so the cognitive intervention is related to cognitive behavior and feelings. Okay, so for cognitive development, changes in individual perception, thoughts and attitude is necessary. Okay, so what does cognition mean? We understood that it means understanding, knowledge, ability to accept adequate knowledge and also pass on to other person convincingly. So what happens here is, with cognitive intervention, there is a cognitive development that helps through individual's perception, thought and attitude. And over here cognition means understanding, knowledge, ability to accept adequate knowledge. Okay, and also to pass on to the others. Okay, so what happens is, how we can have cognitive intervention, how we can change the understanding, how we can change their knowledge or ability to accept something. We can use the people of high social status in a society. So what happens is, many a time people with high social status, power, religious leaders can help bring in change in cognitive process of the individual or a group. So over here cognitive intervention can happen because of the people of the high social status or the power or the religious leaders. Okay, and because of that they can change their understanding, they can change their knowledge or the ability. Okay, other than the people with high social status, we have mass media that play important role in cognitive development. So through this medium we can have cognitive interventions, we can change the understanding, we can change the knowledge and we can change the feelings of the individual, and thus it can help in reducing prejudice. Okay, then the next one is developing positive attitude. So we know that prejudice is negative attitude. We have formed this negative attitude because of inadequate knowledge and information. We do not have any proper knowledge or fact about it, but we have just formed the negative attitude. So if we develop positive attitude towards that particular point or particular situation, then we can reduce our prejudice. Okay, so what we can say is positive attitudes can be developed among people through various activities like providing proper knowledge, safety, security, face-to-face persuasion, modifying behavior patterns, role playing, etc. So how we can develop positive attitudes? We can develop positive attitude through various activities, namely providing proper knowledge. If we have proper knowledge, we can have positive attitude. If we have safety, security, if we persuade someone face to face, and by in turn it changes the behavior patterns, and also by role playing even we can change the attitude and we can form the positive attitude. So developing positive attitude can also reduce prejudice, because prejudice itself means negative attitude. So while reduction in negative attitude and increment in positive attitude would lead to reduction in prejudice. Okay, for example, it is given over here is that in ancient time there was gender inequality, where women had to stay in house and look after the children, but in present world there is no difference, men and women are equal. So propaganda and advertisements like daughter makes a home, save girl child, who will marry your son if there are no girls, such advertisements, such propaganda help reducing prejudice for girl child. Okay, this is how we develop the positive attitude, because we develop the positive feelings toward that particular situation, particular point, and thus we reduce the prejudice against girl child. Okay, and the last one is through norms. So even the laws, even the rules can help reduce prejudice. So norms help people in maintaining social peace and law and order in the society. So what norms helps in maintaining social peace and also law and order in the society. Okay, so through norms also we can reduce the prejudice. For example, how we can do that? For example, like to increase the female ratio, we should stop female feticide and sex test, which is legally a crime. So what norms did over here is, before female child was not considered auspicious and female feticide used to happen. So what did the government do? They made a law, they made a norm against it, and they said that female feticide and also the sex test is a legally crime. They made those two, that is the sex test and the female feticide, to be a legal crime. So because of that norm, people deviated from doing that, and thus the thought changed with passage of time, and the prejudice was reduced. Okay, then moreover, to make women capable and independent, Equal Inheritance Act has also proved independence. So this is a next example which helped in reducing prejudice. So how it is? Because of the law on equal inheritance right, that is the women have equal right in the property of their parents, that also help reduce the prejudice. Okay, so by making such law and increasing the safety, the prejudice can be reduced. Okay, so these were the techniques of reducing prejudice, and over here we complete our fourth chapter, that is attitude and prejudice. Okay.